Yeah, of course. Of course I'll date you. Yes, let's date. I just don't want anybody to know about it. Is it shady or not?
Shady or not, the Bert Show will decide. Are you shady? You will be vetted. Shady or not, the Bert Show will decide. If you shady, you will regret it.
All right, so you're going out with somebody and they do or they say something where you're like, am I in my head about this? Is this shady or not? Send us an email at thebertshow.com. And the email reads, in this case, this seemed weird to you guys. I just started dating a guy who I met through former coworkers. After I left my former job, he started working there. Several months later, I met up with some of my old coworkers for a few drinks after we had all gotten off of work. He was also there. We instantly hit it off. Oh my God, so connected. We were so connected. Right from the start, connected. And even continued to text throughout the night. The next night, we met up for drinks again, but just the two of us. Drinks turned into dinner, and ever since then, we've been seeing each other multiple times a week. When we started hanging out, he asked me how often I hang out with or keep in touch with my old coworkers, the ones he currently works with. And I told him that I've only seen them like twice since I started working there. I don't really speak to them regularly. He seemed to be joking, but said something like, good, because I'm not big on being gossiped about, so I didn't want them to start gossiping about us hanging out. I laughed and said he didn't have to worry about the gossip and that even if they did know, they wouldn't really care anyway. Well, fast forward a few weeks and I've been invited to a birthday party of a former coworker. He's obviously invited too. And when I mentioned that I had also got an invitation, he said that he was likely not going to go. I questioned him further, and he said it was because he didn't want them to know we were seeing each other, and he also didn't want the awkwardness of faking it. I really had no idea that he was still wanting to be so secretive about it. So I told him that it seemed strange, and he said that he really wants to keep things professional at work, and that he's also trying to work his way up, and he's hoping to be offered a manager position soon. He said he doesn't want workplace gossip about his personal life to interfere. I just don't know if I agree with his reasoning or his logic. Does this seem legit, or does it seem like he's trying to keep me a secret for other reasons? Shady or not? You guys want to get in on this, early Bert Show listeners? 1-855-BERT Show.
I mean, out the gate, I was ready to climb the mountain with my megaphone and scream, shady. But now
how would that sound? Just like,
oh.
Shady!
I was going to climb up on the desk.
Yeah.
But I screwed up my knee the other last week. I'm still a little iffy about it. So yeah. I'm just going to be like, Shady!
Oh, we got to do that every time. It's shady.
Yeah.
Every time.
It's like the Ricola guy with the giant horn, that like swooping horn. That's how I would announce to the world that it is shady. But like after reading this, and because of the connection with his work, and he knows how work is and how gossipy work is, and he wants to keep that part of his life as drama-free as possible, I kind of don't blame him. Now, if it started to get real serious and we're a year in, at some point you're going to have to rip that Band-Aid. But for right now, I kind of don't blame him.
Really?
I actually don't.
Well, I think this is a timing thing because I was kind of torn as well and I'm thinking how long it's been. If it'd been longer, I think then she would have a right to feel away. But because they kind of just started several weeks or months ago, and this is his job, right? Because if they still both work there together, you would understand him not wanting to necessarily like be together around the office because it's a professional setting. I get it.
I mean, she doesn't work there anymore, though.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
Right. At the same time, he still does. And those people still know her.
Yeah.
So they may get caught up in the whole gossip thing, and he doesn't want to go through that at work. And why if you don't have to?
I know. That's kind of how I feel about it right now.
Or let me just play the other side of this.
Or you can just live on the other side of it.
I'm there about 70% of the time.
Okay.
at least for debate for us. Or if we're looking at this in a shady way, he's dating somebody at work. or is seeing somebody at work or has had a relationship with somebody at work and is trying to keep these two things separate.
Well, why'd you have to take it there now? That's a high probability because people often date the people they work with.
Because you guys are living in like optimistic world and there's no place here for that.
Or he might be trying to keep his options open at work. Just in case something could. Yeah, Bert done changed me dark that quick. Yeah, I don't went dark.
That didn't take long.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
I just don't know that this feels really legit to me. Like, okay, so let's say she goes to the party and now everybody knows, oh my God, they're hanging out. Oh my God. So now what? I mean, so maybe they gossip about you for 24 hours at work. Like, what's the real drama? And it just doesn't seem like if I'm really into somebody, I want them there, man. This is my girl.
I understand wanting to keep your professional and your personal life separate, though.
Yeah.
Maybe you just simply don't want them to cross paths for whatever reason.
Cass, what do you have?
I dated a coworker who is now my husband. We dated in secret for about a year for professional reasons, and it was a super small office as well, like 10 to 11 people. But we wanted to keep it professional, and as soon as we like sort of announced that we were a couple, because it was inevitable we were traveling together, the jokes started, the awkward insinuations. If we were in the break room getting coffee together, people insinuated that we were doing something in there. And, you know, it all came from like a good place. Like people weren't being nasty, but at the same time, we're like, this is why we kept it a secret, because we didn't want to have to deal with this or any of this at work. So like, I think even if it's a good workplace, sometimes the jokes can go too far, and it's just, it's tiring when you're trying to put forward a professional front.
All right, so if we're going around the room, Mo, shady or not?
I'm going to go with this is not shady.
Okay. Kristen?
Not shady.
Cassie?
Not shady.
Shady! Yo, shady! So that's our opinion out of 3-1.
The Bert Show.
So first, thanks for watching. Second, you like what you just watched? That just scratches the surface. Get the Bert Show on any podcast platform. We're so good.